Adobe AD0-E137 exam practice questions with explanations are available in the video for you to study. An AEM developer needs to move site content and configuration changes from a development environment to staging. Which tool should be used to bundle and transfer these changes between AEM environments? A. Package Manager. B. Dispatcher Configuration Tool. C. Adobe IOCLI. D. Workflow Launcher. The answer is A. The AEM Package Manager is used to create, export, and install content and configuration packages across environments, e.g., Dev right pointing arrow Stage right pointing arrow Prod. The Dispatcher Configuration Tool manages cache and filter rules but not content transfer. Adobe IOCLI is used for interacting with Adobe APIs and cloud services, not AEM content sync. Workflow Launcher triggers workflows automatically but does not handle environment synchronization. A development team is setting up a single-page application, SPA, in AEM using the SPA editor framework. What is the first step required to enable integration between AEM components and the front-end application? A. Configure dispatcher caching rules. B. Export content models using Sling Model Exporter. C. Build a custom workflow to deliver SPA content. D. Enable metadata extraction for SPA templates. The answer is B. When developing SPAs in AEM, the Sling Model Exporter is essential to expose AEM content models as JSON so the SPA framework, e.g., React or Angular, can consume the data. Dispatcher caching rules, A, are important later for performance, workflows, C, are unrelated to SPA delivery, and metadata extraction, D, is used for assets, not SPA structures. A client's AEM implementation requires different configurations for development, staging, and production environments. As the lead developer, how should you properly manage these environment-specific settings? A. Create custom configurations in Apps, Config. For each environment, B. Use editable templates to handle environment-specific settings. C. Apply environment-specific dispatcher configurations only. D. Use workflows to automate environment-specific changes. The answer is A. AEM supports run modes, author, publish, dev, stage, prod, etc. that allow developers to define environment-specific OSGI configurations. By placing configs under Apps, Config, AEM automatically loads the correct settings per environment. Editable templates, B, manage page structures and policies, not environment configs. Dispatcher rules, C, only affect caching and delivery, not AEM runtime configuration. Workflows, D, are process automation tools, not meant for environment management. During an AEM project, a developer needs to move specific site content and configurations from the development instance to staging. What is the main purpose of creating custom packages in AEM Package Manager? A. To automate dispatcher configurations. B. To transfer content and configurations between environments. C. To replicate workflows to publish environments. D. To manage metadata for assets. The answer is B. custom AEM packages are commonly created to bundle content, code, and configurations for deployment across environments, e.g., dev right pointing arrow stage right pointing arrow prod. Dispatcher configurations, A, are handled separately, workflows, C, manage processes but aren't moved this way, and metadata management, D, is done through DAM tools, not Package Manager. A company is setting up an AEM instance to support multiple tenants. As the architect, what is the first step in configuring multi-tenancy? A. Create unique dispatcher configurations for each tenant. B. Set up individual content structures under content for each tenant. C. Configure SAML integration for authentication. D. Modify OSGI configurations to enable tenant access. The answer is B. In AEM multi-tenancy, the foundational step is creating separate content routes under content for each tenant, e.g., content, tenant 1, content, tenant 2. This ensures clean separation of sites, permissions, and configurations. Dispatcher rules, A, are configured later to handle tenant-specific caching and filtering. Authentication, C, and OSGI configurations, D, may be needed, but they are not the starting point for establishing multi-tenancy. An AEM team needs to synchronize configurations from the development environment to staging using Package Manager. Which steps are required? Choose 3. A. Create a content or configuration package in the source environment. B. Upload the package to the target environment. C. Test the package in production before staging. D. Install and validate the package in the target environment. E. Recreate the package manually in the target environment. The answer is ABED. To sync configurations across AEM environments with Package Manager, create a content or configuration package in the source environment. A. Upload the package to the target environment. B. Install and validate the package in the target environment to ensure proper functionality. D. Option C, testing in production first, is a bad practice and not part of the workflow. Option E, recreating manually, is unnecessary because Package Manager is designed to automate this process. When configuring OAuth 2 authentication for a mailing service in AEM, which OSGI configuration file should be created in the config folder? A. com.day CQ Services OAuth Impl OAuth Code Token Authorization.cfg JSON. B. com.day CQ Services OAuth Impl OAuth Access Token Authorization.cfg JSON. ccom.day CQ Mailer OAuth Impl OAuth Configuration Provider impl.cfg JSON. dcom.day CQ Mailer OAuth Impl OAuth Code Token Generator.cfg JSON. The answer is C. For AEM mail services using OAuth 2, The OAuth configuration provider impl configuration file is used to define the client ID, client secret, token URLs, and other OAuth 2 parameters for the mail service. The other options either relate to general OAuth services, A, B, or token generation implementations, D, but are not used directly for mailer OAuth configuration. In AEM, what is the primary purpose of creating an OAuth index? A. To manage front-end dependencies in the project. B. To optimize query performance in the JCR repository. C. To automate dispatcher configurations. D. To enable replication of large assets. The answer is B. OAuth indexes in AEM are used to improve the performance of queries against the JCR, Java Content Repository. Without proper indexing, queries on large content trees can be very slow. They do not manage front-end dependencies, A. Dispatcher rules, C. Or handle replication of large assets, D. A development team is building a single-page application, SPA, in AEM, and the client requires that all content be delivered dynamically from the JCR. Which approach should the team use? A. Use Sling Model Exporter to generate JSON models for the SPA. B. Implement a custom workflow for dynamic content delivery. C. Develop all SPA functionality directly in the dispatcher. D. Create custom replication agents for delivering SPA content. The answer is A. In AEM SPA development, the Sling Model Exporter exposes component data as JSON, which the SPA framework, React, Angular, etc., consumes dynamically from the JCR. Workflows, B. Manage processes, not dynamic content delivery. Dispatcher, C. Is for caching and routing, not SPA logic. Custom replication agents, D. Handle content replication, not real-time dynamic SPA content delivery. In AEM, why is RepoIt considered the preferred approach for supported content modification use cases? Choose 2. A RepoIt allows for explicit control over actions, ensuring safety in content modification. B. Mutable content packages perform fast and atomic operations. C. RepoIt statements are validated during runtime in a local development environment. D. RepoIt creates resources at startup, ensuring reliability in application logic. E. RepoIt statements are atomic and explicit and are skipped if the state is already matching. The answer is A. A. RepoIt provides explicit control over content modification actions, making them safe and predictable. E. RepoIt statements are atomic and idempotent, meaning they are skipped if the desired state already exists, avoiding duplicate operations or errors. Options B and D are not accurate descriptions of RepoIt functionality. Option C is misleading. RepoIt is validated at startup, not dynamically at runtime.